Alright, how's it going, guys? My name is James. I am an Orisha. What that means is that I have received Orisha, I have my warriors, but I have not been crowned yet. So there are things that I do spiritually within my spiritual practice to honor my Orisha, etc. And one of those is just something that I thought was just like a really quick, simple, super simple way to give your Orisha or your Eggun or any of your spirit guides or any spirits that you work with, for instance, just a really simple, easy way to give your spirits light. I'm all about giving my Orisha light. There are a few different things that I kind of dip my hands in spiritually, so to speak. However, this little trick kind of just came to me. I literally pulled together what I had in my home because at that particular time, I was behind on some bills, etc. So I didn't actually have money to buy candles, but you shouldn't let things like that stop you. So, things that you're going to need to make this lamp. Really simple household items, although I will express some like words of advice on some of the oils that you use. So one of the weird but kind of like interesting things is mineral oil. Mineral oil is a laxative. That is not what I use it for, but I have noticed when you combine it with, let's say, some isopropyl alcohol, or some really high proof alcohol like a vodka or something like that, something that will ignite. When you combine it with mineral oil and you let it steep with herbs or roots or powders or whatever you want to, you can then use that oil and it really sustains a really nice flame. And in addition to sustaining that really nice flame, it gives you a longer burn time, which I really enjoy. So what you're gonna need to start is a fireproof vessel. I would not recommend using glass. The flames on these guys can get pretty high. So I would use maybe something like this, like a metal pan, or even better, like a terracotta plate that you would set like underneath a potted plant to catch the water, etc. So you could use one of those. So this is the vessel that I use. This is the vessel, one of the vessels that has really worked out really well for me. And I just happen to have it on hand. Obviously, once I used it for this purpose, it stayed for this purpose because as you can't see actually. There's a lot of gunk in there. And so you obviously would not want to use this again unless you could get it really, really, really clean. But I would just buy a new one, honestly, if it was me, that's my intention. So this is a copper mug. This is used to make Moscow Mules, which is a drink. If you're at all familiar with alcoholic beverages, I used to be a bartender, so I'm pretty familiar with copper mugs. So one night, again, I couldn't buy any candles. I have wax and wicks and things to make candles. I make my own fixed candles, etc. But it was like late and I was tired and I just needed something really quick that worked out, that did what I needed it to do, and it gave my Orisha, gave my spirits light. They give your life light, and you want to give those things back to them. I know at times it can get really hard. We get caught up in the day-to-day hustle and bustle of just trying to make it by. But these small sustainable spiritual practices I have found for myself have been very uplifting. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. I'm gonna give you guys an example of what this lamp looks like after it is made, once it's completed. So this is where I have my warriors right here. I thought I could flip the camera around, but it doesn't look like I can. So as you can see, This is my front door. Here's a legua Ogun Ochosi. I have Osun at the highest spot of my house where I can still see him every day, which is on top of the refrigerator. So this is actually what the lamp looks like. As you can see, it has a really high flame on this side and like a really low flame on that side. So as your lamp burns down, obviously the wick that I made to go in there was just like a really quick, fast, wham bam, this is what I need it to do, and whatever. So also at the time, I didn't have any incense. I really like incense, and I have a lot of herbs and things like that, so I like to make my own. But I didn't have any charcoal discs. Sometimes like we rely on certain things, certain spiritual items, and I'm a very spiritual person. I find my spiritual practices to be very uplifting, very empowering, very like grounding and stabilizing, etc. And so I tend to work with them like regardless. If I have food, the Orisha have food. If I have food, the Eggun have food. It's so easy to just give the first little bite of your meal to Elegua and just say, thank you, Elegua, for this meal, for these blessings. Thank you for sustaining me, etc. So this basically is born of that same concept of just love. So this is my warrior shrine I have over here. I was doing some warrior work earlier. That was something else. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just have, some eggs, the lamp, of course. The lamp being the most important thing here that I wanted to show you guys. Okay. So, literally, what you need to do this. Fireproof vessel. I prefer the copper mug. This one got so hot that the handle burnt off of it. The other one, that's not the case. But even this one, you can put this in your mortar and pestle if that's fireproof. You just don't want it to get so hot that it burns your hands, obviously. So I've made lamps before and then, walked them around my house. It's just a really easy way to venerate the Orisha and to venerate your spirits. So what you're gonna do, I know I'm gonna blow your minds with the simplicity of this one. But again, this was something that really has been very empowering for me to do recently. And I'm just going to show you guys how like completely simple it is. Don't let your finances or like these materialistic things hold or restrict you from your ache flowing. If you feel like you need to go and you need to have a conversation with the Legua, have a conversation with them. If you feel like he needs some light, give him some light. If you can't afford rum, give him water. Give him a cup of water and change that water every day. And when you pass it, when you're going to work, dip your fingers in there, say your omitutu, ask for blessings, lift your family, lift yourself, etc. And that's just a really simple, easy way that you can work with your Orisha. There's Osun, right there. That you can work with your Orisha, that you can venerate your spirits. That doesn't cost any money because typically if you're crafty, you can come up with something that you can have a flame in. And I'm sure I'll make some other videos about other lamp techniques. So for this particular lamp, what I did is I literally just took a paper towel. Just a paper towel, any old paper towel that you have at your house. You're gonna take some awalo or maíz tostado, which is toasted corn. You're gonna put that into the center of your paper towel, just like so. And the reason I do this particular step is to give a little depth to the lamp itself, but it's also for a very like practical reason. Oh, look, I have some soot on my face. It adds weight to the paper towel so that it stays up, so your wicks stay nice and vertical out of the oil, etc., and they have a nice even burn. The one I have in there right now isn't so even, and that's why one of the flames is really high and one of them is really little. But I personally don't mind that. So yeah. So I also here have some hutia. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Just a little dash of hutia. So you can also see this as an ebo. you can see this as an bowl of light. You can add, coins into your lamp. You can add more maize, incense, essential oils smell wonderful in the oil. You can do this with any type of oil, vegetable oil. I have some grapeseed oil right here, mineral oil, like I said before. But the best, which I currently do not have, is like a light olive oil, like extra virgin olive oil, or just like a light olive oil. The reason for that being, I'm sure there are other oils that burn clean. Olive oil for sure is one. This grapeseed oil is not that clean of a burn, but I would say that it's like better than just like a vegetable oil, which is what I was using at first. And for all intents and purposes, don't leave it burning for, all night while you're not there. You just treat it the same way that you would an open flame. I mean, it's like kind of common sense, guys. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So you're going to take your paper towel with your maíz tostado, which rollado inside of it. And you're just going to wrap it up like a little cigarette. So that it looks like this. So then what I like to do is just, you kind of get a twist going. So you have like this little lump in the middle, right? And you're just like twisting the wick, like this, etc. So then to kind of keep that in the center, what I like to do is I like to just give this guy a little knot, right? So that you kind of have like this little baggie of a bowl. You have some maíz tostado, some things that are sacred to Elegua. And so as you're doing this, of course, you're praying to Elegua that he opens your road, that he blesses you with prosperity, with abundance, especially with the work that you do with your own hands. Ask him to bless your hands so that money always finds its way back to you. These are all the things, and you can personalize this little guy for any intention that you have. Also, once you fill this up, or even before you fill it up with oil, doesn't matter, you can put herbs in there, roots in there, resins, essential oils. You can really customize a lamp in a lot of ways that it's just like really, really simple and easy to do. And so once you have this guy, it's in a knot, right? You're just going to take some oil. I fill my lamps up about halfway or 3/4 of a way up to the top. So you just pour in your oil. I'm trying to make this as short as I can, so I'm not adding too much into it right now. However, the lamp that's burning with the Legua is definitely more fixed than this one is. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys how simple this process could be. It's these little small spiritual practices that you pick up in your everyday that can really benefit you. If you're going through something hard, I personally find it very empowering to sit with the Legua and to speak with him about whatever it is that's bothering you. And, to give him that light so that he can direct you and like kind of navigate you as you traverse those obstacles, etc. So what you're going to do now is you just take your little guy. I kind of think it looks like he has horns. I don't know. I think that's kind of cute. So you're just going to drop it in there so that the oil the paper, because it's a paper towel, it's very porous. So it's going to suck up the oil really, really, really quickly. So as you can see, you have 2 giant wicks right there, right? So what I have done in the past is you can just trim those down. You can add more oil so that way so much paper towel isn't exposed. That's gonna control how large your flame gets. So actually, I see the scissors. So let me grab the scissors really quick and I'm just gonna trim. I'm gonna add some more oil and I'm gonna trim these wicks so that way they're not, like so crazy. But this particular lamp is actually going into the terreiro where I have my eshu, my pombagira. That's something completely different. For this lamp specifically, I don't mind that the flame is higher because my temple to the spirits of Kimbanda is outside. The floor is cement. I have many terracotta vessels out there, so I'm a little bit more relaxed in regards to fire safety. But still, you don't want, just like you don't want to leave any candle burning unattended, or if you're gonna leave it burning unattended, at least put it in a vessel to where if it did tip over, if anything like that did happen, you know, your house doesn't burn down. You don't want to burn down your house. You know, you're giving this Ebo, this blessing to Elegua, and you want him to do the same. So just be smart about it, and you won't have any problems. What my padrino has done in the past is he'll put a candle in like a vase for flowers, and you fill it up with water. There you go. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It's a little bit more safeguarded. These lamps, this is vegetable oil or, you know, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, whatever kind of oil. So it's not going to be flammable. It's not like you're using like a lamp oil or kerosene. So even if this guy tips over, the paper towel is the only thing that's really like sustaining that flame. Once you remove its fuel, you know, the fire will go out. But of course, again, you just want to be smart about it. I'm just saying it's not as dangerous as, you know, it may look at first. Okay. Try and get this off. There we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit more oil to it. So now we're at like the 3/4 mark, more or less, I would say. So as you can see, it's weighted down pretty nicely. The lamp in there has some change in it, like change out of my pocket, like dimes, nickels, pennies, quarters, etc. That's a great thing to add in there also, you know, to symbolize that monetary wealth and that type of thing. So this is pretty much all good to go. Now all you need is a lighter. And naturally, I cannot find one. All right, here we go. Okay, perfect. So you're just gonna take your lighter. You're gonna light up the end. I like to do, this is kind of like just a personal thing. I like to do 2-sided lamps. So there you go. You have this really simple lamp made with household ingredients that I'm sure everybody has, like a paper towel. If you don't have a paper towel, I'm sure you could use toilet paper, cotton, you know, anything that can pull the oil up into it and act as a wick is going to work perfectly for, you know, this purpose. Because this is copper, obviously it doesn't degrade the structure of the copper mug. Copper, you know, it's pretty flame resistant. As you can see, you have a really nice like flame going, and you know, that's all you need. You just give that to a legua. It's coming from your heart. You're using the things that you have at your house. You're not spending any money, and you're still venerating and honoring your Orisha. Can't get any better than that, guys. All right, so my name is James. If y'all have any questions, feel free to comment. You can direct message me. So yeah, hopefully I will be putting out some more videos soon. But I just wanted to make that one and share it with you guys. You know, light and love. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone stays safe out there and that everyone has a really prosperous New Year.